Hey guys, welcome back to some more of the submarine series. Today we're going to be doing basic controls and some of that stuff. So, we had the basic layout here. We're going to actually hook what we've got here. We're going to hook it up. So, right now we've been using a button to enter dive mode. We're going to change that. So we need first our sensor array. So this includes, actually we can just do if you type in sense, you'll get everything you need. Alright, let's go back here. So, we want our sensors to be in the chassis in the center. It's very important these are protected. You lose these, and it's not the end of the world, but it could be if you're wanting to do automatic navigation. Ooh, you know what I haven't considered in this build? The future update where you can repair your engine. Luckily we've got a lot of room in here, so I will be putting probably a hatch somewhere up here on the deck. Probably like right back here. I can fit a hatch in there that you can drop down in to the engine room and repair the engine or some of the components. Something like that. So, we've got our altitude altimeter. The thing messes me up every time. We want our linear speed. We'll get a clock. We need that. Well, we might, clock. We want to get everything we might need. We need a compass sensor. We don't need it up at front. We need it down here at the back because we have a Lua compass that I'm going to be installing. Make sure it's facing the right direction. Emergency beacon locator. This needs to be near the front of the boat. We'll put this down here in this little gap. We'll install the systems for this later. Just having it there. It's all about laying out things for the next step. Until you're out of steps, I suppose. So now we need our GPS. I still need our linear speed. There it is. I think that's most of this. We don't really need a rain sensor or any of that because we aren't going to be on the surface much. Emergency beacon, we do need one of these. This is more of a later on thing, but we'll put this back here, right under that. I don't know how I feel about that actually. Kinda think a light would look really cool there. But for the moment I'll leave it there. We can move it later. Alright. So, let's get this. So, logic-wise, we'll need our compass. This is my compass, my 1x1. I love to add. This is all my products in this whole build. None of these will be anything else. We'll be doing our basic nav systems. So, compass, my fuel gauge, which I still have in my thing. It's called Weird Dial, and it has a different name and a different logo for me, but if you download it, it'll be different, but it's the same thing. Okay, so this is gonna be our fuel, and we'll set up the max numbers of this later, so it'll look really buggy at first because you have to set the maximum number to the max of the fuel tank. We won't know that until we have it displayed. That'll be our fuel dial, and then the compass takes a compass input. That's why I knew we needed it, but just not up there. So compass, reading, and compass. So then we go here. So our compass is going to be displaying right here. Fuel is going to be over here. And it's not like we're done with other things. It's like I can't remember what's left to do, and so it's better to find out as we go now. But we need some more. This can't hurt. These systems can't hurt to have. We still don't have any of our nav systems, so we're going to be hooking those up today. Probably some of them. So we got that. Got our clock. So let's hook up the power to our sensors back here. Also need to turn on our screens. We need a constant on signal. Because if this were to go out, that would be pretty bad. What you could do if you wanted a more destructible boat, you could have a full glass control display, and you can have the constant ons that make it stay on all over the boat, so that as it takes damage in different areas, different systems will go dead. And the screens will turn off, I mean. So we'll put ours right here though, for now, because we're building a safe build. Should be safe to be in, be around, you know, all around, safe build. Power switches. We're going to go down here, we're going to add a new thing to this. This is going to be backlights. Backlights, these will be number 3. Let's go hook those up. Notice how I tried to do one instrument panel at a time. Makes things a lot less confusing to have the other ones already in here, so I like to leave them alone until I actually need them. So I only am hooking up my light systems that I'm going to have my instrument panel for now. Backlight, backlight. Let's see here. So now, I think I was getting to something. Yes, I was going to try to remove this button. So we'll get rid of the button. Now, how are we going to go into dive mode? We'll go into dive mode, so our altitude is reading from right here near the top, relatively near the air intakes. We want it to stop when it goes below 0. So simply, I'm actually going to use a compact less than, because it's easier. Actually, there's one here, it's just less than 0. See, these are what you need in your builds. I keep saying that. Like, it saves you so much time when you have a thing just for what you want. And I mean, it just does exactly what you need done. Okay, there. And that's it. That's all we had to do. It could have been a complicated process, but with the right controls, it was really easy. Bilge pumps, let's do those. So we have them. We have our thing. And all we have to do is get a compact greater than. I just have it called great. The reason these are so compacted is basically it's a constant greater than. It never changes. Or the B value never changes. It's property. Which is good for systems like your bilge pumps. So right now, if the current flood level in here is greater than 5, I always like to give it a little leeway. If it's greater than 5, then it will pump out of the boat. I like to give it leeway because sometimes little pockets capture just a little bit of water and it reads it. I don't want to. Oh, sorry. I like to. Yeah. So now we've got the stuff all ready. Okay. So bilge pumps are hooked up, I think. Yeah. So those are automatic bilge pumps. You could have them manual if you wanted again, dramatic sync is different. If you want dramatic sync, you'll have different kinds of bilge pumps. And for our current bilge pump system, I'm going to remove these bottom wedges because I don't believe the stairs have a seal, but I like to think it would look better anyway, regardless of whether or not the stairs seal, to have it go up under like this, and then go like that. No, damn it. Also, this needs to be mirrored. And we have a lot more Lua coming in this boat. The Lua that we have hooked up is the bare minimum. Like the very basicest. We're going to have a bunch of 2x2s running all over here that are going to have our submarine displays and our depth, belly proximities, our warning Lua. I think I'll hook up the warning Lua in a minute. That's something we already have here. Let's spawn it in. take a look at our displays and see how they're working. And after we take it to the bench, I'm going to hook up the warning lure, and then I'm going to hook up the gyro so that we can move the boat around a little rather than just forward and back. These are good enough for testing, but we need to be able to move it around to take it down and dive it. Again, I don't know what's going on with these doors. It doesn't bother me that much. It looks like it's displaying in the water around us, but it's definitely a glitch. I don't mind it though, because it actually just kind of looks cool, but if I did, I'd be kind of pissed. Okay, so I think I'm noticing no screen, no screen, and it's powered. Oh, come on. I did hook up the video, didn't I? The video's hooked up. The power is not hooked up. Really? Also, we need our front camera. The front of our submarine is going to be a little bit odd, because what I have to do is I'm going to have to bring these out, that out. I'm going to extend, so there and there, there and there, and then the reason I do this is not because I want to maim the front of my submarine. It's because we actually have sensors that sit on the front of our sub that help us navigate in super deep waters. Especially at night, when you cannot see at all underwater, you need these sensors. We'll have a simple camera here in the front that'll be the background for our center screen, so you can see. It's just, you might not be able to at the time. So we'll put this there, and for a temporary time, it'll just go straight to the 5x3. Alright, let's work on the gyro. Gyro's simple. Where is it? We put it back here. Here it is. Gyro must always be on. Actually, I have a button that I like to use that's just disable gyro, and if that's not pushed, because every here and there you do want to do a roll in the submarine, or you want to do some crazy fun evasive maneuvers, you might want that. So we will have that. Some people get really pissed when they see me put a gyro in a random vehicle like this. And I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't, if you can. It's like the right way to do this. It's the gyros just make things better, They don't make anything worse. Gyro there. Okay, so this goes to number 4. Right. So now we'll have to start on the next instrument panel soon. So that starts up the gyro. So now, stabilize up down, leave that alone, that's helicopter stuff. Stabilize pitch though, this is submarine kind of stuff. So notice how something in my design might piss you off a little. Because you're noticing right now that I have pitch and roll to accommodate, but I only have 4 fins in the submarine. Well, how this is achieved is simply with an averager and a numerical inverter. Again, average. Thing that everyone should have pre-built in the thing. It's not a thing that you get initially, but it's what you need. It's just A plus B divided by 2. It's a neat little controller and you need it. Okay, so we'll go off symmetry for a minute. We're averaging only 2 of these in an inverter, and I'll show you why. So this will be the inverted roll side. So basically, the gyro is outputting. Let's start with our roll systems. Okay. So our roll comes out of the gyro and straight into the first one, and then into the inverter. The output of the inverter goes into the second one. Our pitch There's the pitch, and that goes to both of them. Now we just send this one. We might have to switch which ones these go to depending on how the roll is. But it's easier to do that than to actually check and do it out in your head. So there's that. That's pitch and roll and just 2 fins. So now the yaw is really easy. Yaw is as simple as boop and boop. And it can't just be on the bottom, it has to be on the bottom and the top so that when you're dove deep, it's equal turning. Or else the submarine will try to roll on you when you do the yaw. Okay, so now we got that done. Let's, I guess, hook it up to the seat. So our WNS now goes to, we're going to drive this thing like a plane because that gives us more dexterous controls. This is our pitch. This is our roll. Wait, hold on. A and D is supposed to roll. I'm sorry. Roll. Yaws. There it is. That's the right way to do it. I would have caught it eventually. Okay. So now we should have some that. Let's hook up our sensor array. Let's not waste so much time testing. So this is basically pivots on the front of the submarine. So we'll have one there. So that'll be the left sensor. That'll be the right sensor. Bottom sensor. Top sensor. Okay, so then what you do is then you just get your, to avoid this looking like a Nazi thing, so we're going to take our distance sensors and we're going to, the standards will do, by the way. You want to have this only proximity warn at about 20. We'll just put them on the ends. Don't put them facing out, or when it turns, it'll look really bad. So we'll have these like this, and these will be rotated so that they can see the different angles. Then we'll have an additional one at the top that faces just facing front with no pivot to it. That'll be our nose prox. And then we'll have our belly proximity and some other things. So this is that. Hopefully there's not an issue with this. You see the possible issues there, but hopefully it's not a problem. Let's go ahead and hook this up to a constant number. So we probably need 0.5. That's what I used in my last submarine. That's a good sensor, but we could even make this a variable and have it oscillate back and forth. It's whatever you want to do, really. Okay, there's that. Now we just need power for the sensor array. I've got a simple little microcontroller that takes all this data and turns it into a really easy to see display that allows you to sit back and relax and not constantly check a million dials. Also, I forgot to hook up this one on the nose. There's a nose proximity warning. This is not a boat for career mode. I don't think this could be more evidently not a boat for career mode, because it is so damn expensive. I mean, it's just not overall really that other. It's not a very useful thing for career. I mean, it has the door knock, yes, but there's so many better ways to do it if you are gonna actually, if you really needed it to go well. This is the trickier and more skillful way to build a submarine, which means it takes more trick and more skill, if you get what I mean. Okay, so let's put in the controllers. This is what it looks like. I'll show you how to set this up too. So this will go right here. The nice thing is, this will be here even if your nose gets absolutely demolished. So technically, if the camera got broke on the front, you could still rely on some of the sensor readings, depending on whether or not they were broken too. I mean, overall, crumple your nose and you're going to lose some of your important stuff, but it's whatever. So now I have to rehook up this screen. So taking the camera input, this is our nose cam, aka our pass through left. So our left one, let me see if it's this one. This one's the right. Bottom. Is this one. Top is this one. Center, of course, is the front facing. It doesn't rotate. Okay, let's save. Also, I am lagging. Haven't closed my game in a while, so that's why I'm lagging. I know it's bad, but it's alright if I'm in the workbench. It's just pretty bad when I'm actually in the game. I'll figure it out. I don't really want to stop the video though, so yeah, I'll stop it soon though. Probably after this test or so, because we're about done anyway. Anyway, let's hop in and see what we've got. Yes, this is much more like home. So we've got our fuel. So our max is 14,729. So then when I go back, I'll go into that. So we're getting proximity warnings because see here, since it's now in the front, they rotated, and this one's detecting the wall over there. This one's detecting the floor, and the center distance. Now, why is the center going up? I think it's seeing the land ahead of us whenever we nose down a little bit. Okay, let's test our turning. So if I push A, oh, I didn't power the gyro, did I? Let me try something though, just in case. If I try to disable the gyro, I push A. Oh wait, A and D's roll. What am I doing? Let me push left. Oh, I disabled the gyro. Oh my god. Okay. Ready? I'm pushing left. Okay, so it is dead. Left, right, W, S, 80. Okay, so let me fix that real quick. And we'll fix that's 14,000 something. It was 14,700 was the fuel gauge. Okay. Now we needed to do power to the gyro. Yeah, that's what I figured. If you don't power it, it'll just output zeros for everything, even if it's not auto hover's not active. We want to be able to turn. So on the surface, this thing would have issues if it were at higher speeds, because of the only the one rudder in the water would cause some serious torque to be exerted upon the hull. But, you know, when we're only rolling around at 14 maybe, it's not a big issue. Speaking of things like that, I haven't gotten my speed display yet, but we'll do that in a minute. I still prefer my air like this in the dial form though. It's good to visualize how fast it's actually dropping. So we're filling up with air. I'm going to go ahead and open the clutch and reverser. Open the throttle, open the air consumption. Here we go. Alright, so I'm turning the right. Oh god. That's a lot of roll. Am I just rolling, or is that actually just the yaw doing that much intense? Holy crap. Yeah, the yaw is way too intense. Let's try a roll. Roll is inverted, that's what it is. Roll is inverted. Pitch. Pitch seems to be good. Yep, pitch is good. Roll is inverted. That's our only issue. I was like, wow, the yaw is doing awful things, but no, it's the roll freaking out. So we'll just take this into the bench, invert that, and then I think I'll have to call the end to this video because it's been going for a good while now. Let's see here. Actually, we don't need to invert it. We just need to switch which fin it goes to which. Because the pitch is the same both ways. The roll is the difference. So I can just do that, and it should work. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Sorry it's taken so long to build the damn thing.